Hello students, I am here to explain the concepts differentiation and integration, which you will use while deriving the equations of motion, that is v is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half at square, and the third equation is v square minus u square is equal to 2ax. You must have done the derivation of these equations with the help of the graphical method. But if you want to derive these equations with the help of calculus method, then what you need is differentiation as well as integration. And as these two terms are totally new for you, so the students get confused between these two terms, that what are these terms and how these processes can be done. So here simply I will explain you that how you can do differentiation and integration to solve these three equations with the help of calculus method. So in simple words, if you want to understand differentiation, it means breaking something into really small parts. What does it mean? If you are having a big physical quantity and you want to find its value over a small particular area, then we need the help of differentiation. Similarly, if you want to do the integration, it means taking those really small parts and gluing them in the right order. Then we will be doing the process of integration. It means if we are having the values over small intervals and we want to calculate the value of the physical quantity over a large interval, then we will have to do the process of integration. Now as you can see, both the processes, in differentiation we are breaking and in integration we are gluing. It means both these phenomena are reversed to each other, that we can show mathematically also with the help of some formulas. As I have written here, some formulas for differentiation. First is y is equal to x power n. Second is y is equal to cx. Y is equal to u plus v. Y is equal to uv. Now firstly I will tell you how we will differentiate these terms, and then I will tell you the integration of these terms, and with the help of these equations we can derive the equations of motion. So the first formula is, if you are having y is equal to x power n. Here you can see that y is a function of x and n is the power of x. For doing the differentiation, the symbol will be dy by dx. It means that we are differentiating this term y with respect to x. So for differentiation, what we do, we bring this power in multiplication, then we write x, then we reduce the power by 1. The differentiation is done. For this term, that is y is equal to x power n, its differentiation will be dy by dx, that is n x power n minus 1. Similarly, if you are having the second formula, that is y is equal to cx. Here c is a constant. Now if I have to differentiate this term, we will write dy by dx will be equal to c. It is a constant, it will remain as it is. Now it is x, so we can write it as x power 1. So 1 will be in multiplication, then x, reduce the power by 1, it is 1 minus 1. So this is c into 1 into x power 0. X power 0 is 1. So we will be having only c. So if we will differentiate this equation, that is y is equal to cx, we will have the differentiation, that is dy by dx equal to c only. Similarly, I can show you that the differentiation for a constant term, for y is equal to c, what will be its value? Dy by dx will be equal to, we are having only the constant term, it will remain as it is. So we can write it as cx power 0. So 0 will come in multiplication, we will have x 0 minus 1. So anything that is multiplied by 0 will be equal to 0. So from here we can show that if you are having y is equal to some constant term, then its differentiation will be equal to 0 always. After that I have y is equal to u plus v. If you are having the two terms u and v such that they are to be differentiated with respect to x, Then what we will do? We will write dy by dx is equal to what? du by dx plus dv by dx. That's it. Means we will differentiate both the terms differently and we will add the two differentiations. And the fourth formula, if y is equal to uv, then this is known as the product rule of differentiation. We will write dy by dx is equal to first function as it is differentiation of second plus second function as it is differentiation of first. So in this way we can differentiate all the formulas I have told you, that if y is equal to x power n, if y is equal to cx, if y is equal to u plus v, if y is equal to uv. Now here are some formulas for integration that will be used while deriving these three equations. So first is x power n dx. This is the symbol, you can see this is the symbol for integration. If you are having this symbol along with dx, it means you are to integrate with this term with respect to x. Now for the first formula, if we are having x power n dx, then for integration we will be moving in the inverse order as we were doing in the case of differentiation. See, if y is equal to x power n, for differentiation what we did multiplication of n, then we reduce the power by 1. But in integration, first of all we will increase the power by 1 and then we will divide by the increased power. Now you can see that we are doing the whole phenomena just as we have done in the diffraction, but in the reverse manner. Here we multiplied with n and reduced the power by 1. Here we have increased the power by 1 first and then we have divided by this increased power. Now see, if I will differentiate this term, if y is equal to x power this divided by n plus 1 and I am doing the differentiation, you will see that this will be n plus 1 into x power n plus 1 minus 1 divided by n plus 1. So this is again x power n. So you can see that if we are differentiating, we are having this thing, and if we are doing the integration and then we are again differentiating, we will reach at the same term. It means both these phenomena are inverse of each other. Now the next formula that will be used is if you are having the integration of u and v both, then u plus v dx, we can write it as u dx plus v dx. Now you can see that here u and v, they are both the functions of x, so we can integrate them separately with respect to x. After that, if we are having dx only, so here we are not having a single term of x, so we can write this as x power 0 dx. Now, as we have done in the case of x power n, we will integrate it, so it will be x raised to the power 0 plus 1 divided by 0 plus 1. So this will be x power 1 by 1, or we can say simply x. So this result is very useful while deriving these equations. So integration of dx will be equal to x. Now if you are having x power minus 1 into dx, or this can be written as 1 by x dx, so its integration will be equal to log x. This is a result that you must memorize. Now when we were doing all these integrals, you can see that I have not mentioned the interval that this quantity is to be integrated in which interval, from where to where, means what are the limits. So if we are integrating integrating the physical quantity without limits, so it is known as indefinite integral. In that case, we will have to put a constant that is termed as the integration constant, you can say, like this, constant of integration. But if we are having the limits, that for example, we are given the limits that you are to integrate this quantity from 1 to 2, then this is termed as a definite integral. In that case, we will be having x power n plus 1 with the limits 1 to 2. So how we will put the limits? In place of x, firstly I will write the upper limit, means 2 raised to the power n plus 1 by n plus 1 I can take out, then minus 1 raised to the power n plus 1, means what I have did, in place of x I have inserted the upper limit, then minus, then I have inserted the lower limit. One more way you can see, if we are having x square dx from 1 to 2, then that will be equal to x power 3 by 3 limits 1 to 2. So 1 by 3 you can take out. In place of x, if I will write 2, it will be 2 raised to the power 3 minus, इसकी जगह पर 1 पुट करेंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा, 1 क्यूब. So this is 1 by 3, 8 minus 1, that is 1 by 3 into 7, that is 7 by 3. So we have calculated the integral within the limits. So when we are given the limits, we are not required to put this integration constant. Now see the equation of motion. For the first equation, that is v is equal to u plus at. You all know that here v is the final velocity, u is the initial velocity, a is the acceleration and t is the time. Also you know by definition that acceleration is equal to rate of change of velocity. So here a is the acceleration and dv is the small change in velocity, dt is the small change in time. If we multiply, you will be having a dt is equal to dv. Now integrating both sides from time 0 to t, the limits are, here the velocity is changing from u to v. So on integration, as a is constant, so dt by integration, I have already told you that it is equal to t from 0 to t, that is equal to the integration of dv will be equal to v. We will be having the limits u and v. Putting the limits, you will be having a into t minus 0, that is v minus u, or at is equal to v minus u, implies v is equal to u plus at. So see, this is the equation of motion, first equation of motion by the calculus method. Similarly, we can derive the second equation of motion also, that is s is equal to ut plus half at square. Now, for the derivation of this equation, we can start from v is equal to dx by dt. You must remember the starting points. Here, as this a term is included here, so I have started from a. Here the velocity term is there, so I have started from velocity. So velocity is equal to rate of change of displacement. So I have written here v is equal to dx by dt, or we can write v dt is equal to dx. Now integrating both sides, we will be having here we are having dt, so we will integrate with the limits of time, and here we are having dx, so I will integrate with the limits of x. Let the x varies from x naught to x. X naught is the displacement at time t is equal to 0, and x is the displacement at time t is equal to t. Now as we have done the first equation of motion, that v is equal to u plus at, so I can insert the value of v here. You will be having u plus at dt from 0 to t is equal to dx x naught to x. Now this can be written as u dt from 0 to t plus at dt from 0 to t, that is equal to dx from x naught to x. Now I will do the integration for these terms. this, you can see u is the initial velocity and we are to differentiate it with respect to time. So u will remain as it is and differentiation of dt will be equal to t from 0 to t plus this a is constant here. So we are to integrate this t. T का integration क्या होगा? It will be t square by 2. Limits will be from 0 to e. After that we are having dx. dx का integration क्या होगा? That will be x. तो limits क्या है इसकी बेटे? x naught to x. Now this can be written as u t minus 0 plus a by 2 t square minus 0, that is equal to x minus x naught. Now this can be written as ut plus half at square is equal to x minus x naught. Now see, if a body is moving in this straight line and this is t is equal to 0 and the position is x naught, and here we are having time t is equal to t and the position is x, then this is what? This is x minus x naught. So x minus x naught, if it is equal to s, that is the distance travelled in this interval. So this can be replaced by s and we can have the second equation, that is s is equal to ut plus half at square. Now similarly, we can derive the third equation, that is v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Here again v is the final velocity, u is the initial velocity, a is the acceleration and s is the distance. So again I will start from a is equal to what? dv by dt. No problem. Acceleration is equal to what? That is the rate of change of velocity. If I multiply by dx and divide by dx, it will not make any difference. So I can write it as dv by dx into dx by dt. उससे भी कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Now this dx by dt can be written as v, because v क्या होता है? Rate of change of position. Now I am having the equation a is equal to dv by dx into v, or we can write it as a dx is equal to v dv. Now integrating both sides, again the limits for x and v we will see. At time t is equal to 0, I will write the limits here for t. When t is equal to 0, x is equal to x naught and velocity is equal to u. When t is equal to t, x is equal to x, velocity is equal to v. So accordingly we can put the limits. We will be having a dx. तो x है, x के लिमिट्स क्या होंगे? x naught to x. That is v dv. वेलोसिटी के लिमिट्स क्या होंगे? u से v. So a it is constant. dx का इंटीग्रेशन क्या होगा बेटे? That will be equal to x from x naught to x. That is equal to v का इंटीग्रेशन क्या होगा? That will be v square by 2. You will be having the limits as this. So now a, put the upper limit here, x minus lower limit x naught. That is half we can take common. Upper limit in place of v, v square. Lower limit in place of v, u square. So a into x minus x naught is equal to half into v square minus u square. Now I have explained you that x minus x naught can be written as a s, that is half v square minus u square, implies v square minus u square is equal to 2s. So these are the three equations of motion with the help of calculus method, and these equations are very simple as you can see. So after doing these equations we can solve some problems based on these. Those problems I will discuss with you in the next video.